Imagine a morning where breakfast wasn't just a meal. It was a statement. The clink of plates, the aroma of sizzling bacon, and recipes so unique they've become the stuff of legend. Ever wonder which iconic dishes we've left behind? Step into a time machine and land in the kitchens of 1950s America, where breakfast was a creative masterpiece and a moment to savor. Today, we're uncovering forgotten breakfast staples from the 50s and 60s that defined a generation but faded from view. Each dish has a story, a taste, and a memory we can relive. Hold on tight. This culinary journey will tickle your taste buds and awaken your nostalgia. Scrapple. Picture this: a sizzling golden slice of scrapple fresh off the skillet. It's a dish that many modern Americans may not recognize, yet it was once a breakfast staple that could be found on countless tables, especially in the mid-Atlantic states. Scrapple, affectionately dubbed everything but the oink, was a true testament to resourcefulness. It was made from pork scraps left after butchering, blended with cornmeal and spices, then shaped into a loaf and fried to perfection. For families in the 50s and 60s, scrapple wasn't just about taste. It was about using every bit of what you had. The result? A crispy, savory exterior that gave way to a soft, flavorful interior. Served alongside eggs or slathered with syrup, scrapple was a breakfast powerhouse that embodied the phrase, "Waste not, want not." But why did this once-loved dish disappear from our tables? As convenience foods and packaged breakfast options gained traction, scrapple slowly fell out of favor. Its unconventional ingredients and the time required to prepare it couldn't compete with the ease of grabbing a toaster pastry. Yet, scrapple has a charm that deserves a comeback. Its robust flavors, crispy texture, and deep ties to America's agricultural roots make it more than just food. It's a story on a plate. Imagine savoring scrapple alongside a steaming cup of coffee or pairing it with a side of apple butter for a modern twist. It's a slice of the past that could easily find its way into today's kitchens, offering a hearty, nostalgic breakfast that stands out in a sea of sameness. So, what do you think? Is scrapple worth rediscovering? Let's dust off the old recipe books and bring back a breakfast icon that reminds us of simpler, tastier times. Creamed chipped beef on toast. If there was ever a breakfast that defined comfort and practicality in mid-century America, it was creamed chipped beef on toast, lovingly nicknamed SOS by many households. This dish was the epitome of simple, hearty fare that stretched ingredients and filled bellies, especially in post-war kitchens. The concept was straightforward but brilliant. Thin slices of dried beef, often sourced from jars or tins, simmered in a creamy, velvety white sauce, then ladled generously over toasted bread. The contrast between the creamy sauce and the crunch of toast made every bite a delight. It wasn't fancy, but it was undeniably satisfying, offering a warm start to the day that families could depend on. This dish originally gained fame in military mess halls during World War II, where it was an inexpensive way to feed troops. When soldiers returned home, they brought the recipe with them, and it quickly found a place in American kitchens. It was easy to make, required just a handful of pantry staples, and could be customized with a dash of pepper or a sprinkle of parsley for a touch of flair. However, like many breakfast classics, creamed chipped beef on toast began to fade with the rise of processed foods and fast-paced lifestyles. Instant breakfasts and sugary cereals took over, and dishes like this were relegated to the realm of nostalgia. But perhaps it's time to bring it back. Imagine adding a modern twist by swapping traditional white sauce for a lighter bechamel or incorporating whole grain toast for a healthier take. The creamy, salty goodness of chipped beef could easily find a place on today's breakfast menus, offering a reminder of a time when meals were simple, flavorful, and made with love. Could this be the comeback dish your mornings are missing? Jell-O molds for breakfast. Can you imagine? It sounds peculiar now, but in mid-20th century America, it was nothing short of a household staple. These wobbly, colorful creations weren't just a dessert. They found their way onto breakfast tables as an eccentric yet delightful way to start the day. Paired with fruit, nuts, or even savory ingredients like cottage cheese, they were a symbol of creativity and resourcefulness during an era where food innovation was celebrated. Fast forward to today, and the thought of a Jell-O mold for breakfast might raise a few eyebrows. The shift toward convenience-based eating habits has rendered many of these vintage delights obsolete. Cereal boxes and granola bars have replaced the artistry of crafting gelatin molds. And the idea of spending time making something both visually striking and nutritious feels like a luxury few can afford. But here's the question: what have we lost along the way? Jell-O molds were more than quirky breakfast items. They were conversation starters, moments of joy, and symbols of the ingenuity that defined their time. Their decline mirrors the broader disappearance of slow, intentional breakfasts, replaced by meals eaten in haste or skipped altogether. What if we could bring back this magic? Reviving these forgotten dishes isn't just about nostalgia, it's about reclaiming a way of life that values creativity, connection, and a little bit of fun in the mornings. Maybe it's time to reimagine Jell-O molds for the modern breakfast table and rediscover the charm of starting the day with something truly unique. Johnny Cakes. Imagine waking up to the aroma of freshly griddled cornmeal cakes. A humble yet hearty breakfast that fueled pioneers, settlers, and even sailors. Johnny Cakes, often referred to as journey cakes, were the go-to meal for those on the move. Compact, durable, and endlessly satisfying, these golden delights were proof that necessity is the mother of invention. Johnny Cakes were more than just food. They were a testament to resourcefulness. Made from cornmeal, water, and salt, these simple cakes were cooked over an open flame or on a hot griddle. Native Americans first introduced the recipe to early settlers, who embraced it as a staple. Their portability made them ideal for long journeys, hence the name. Whether paired with molasses, honey, or a pat of butter, Johnny Cakes provided a versatile, nutrient-packed start to the day. So, what happened? The rise of factory-made bread and instant pancake mixes gradually pushed Johnny Cakes to the sidelines. As convenience took precedence, this timeless recipe began to fade from breakfast tables across America. But perhaps it's time to bring them back. With a drizzle of maple syrup or a modern twist like incorporating whole-grain cornmeal, Johnny Cakes can once again shine as a nostalgic yet practical breakfast option. Why not give them a try and reconnect with a simpler, tastier time? Orange Blossom Muffins. There's something undeniably special about a warm muffin straight from the oven. But what if we told you that an unexpected twist on this classic could transport your taste buds to a citrus wonderland? Enter the Orange Blossom Muffin, a vibrant, fragrant treat that was once a favorite in mid-century American kitchens, but has since faded from the limelight. These muffins were a celebration of spring in every bite. Made with fresh orange zest and infused with a delicate hint of orange blossom water, they were a fragrant and zesty alternative to the more traditional, sugar-heavy options of the time. The combination of the bright citrus notes and the tender muffin texture made them a perfect pairing for a morning cup of tea or coffee. In the 1950s and 60s, citrus was a beloved ingredient in American kitchens, with orange juice, zest, and blossom water finding their way into everything from cakes to cocktails. Orange Blossom Muffins embodied the mid-century love for both indulgence and creativity in the kitchen. They were often served as part of a more elaborate breakfast spread or as a delightful snack to brighten the afternoon. So, why did this bright and aromatic treat fall out of favor? As more convenient and mass-produced options dominated the market, foods like Orange Blossom Muffins became less of a priority. The delicate nature of the recipe, along with the less common orange blossom water ingredient, made it less accessible to the average busy family. However, there's something timeless about the elegance of Orange Blossom Muffins that makes them worth rediscovering. Imagine a morning where the air is filled with the zesty, floral aroma of fresh orange muffins. It's a recipe that could easily be revived, adding a pop of color and flavor to today's breakfast tables. Could this vintage gem make a triumphant return to your kitchen? Tell us in comments. Bacon and egg pie. Picture this: a piping hot pie fresh from the oven, its golden crust cradling layers of smoky bacon, perfectly cooked eggs, and a hint of onion or fresh herbs. Bacon and egg pie was a breakfast favorite that offered the perfect balance of flavor, texture, and nostalgia. This dish had its roots in practicality and resourcefulness. With basic ingredients like eggs, bacon, pastry, and optional vegetables, it was easy to whip up for breakfast or brunch. The beauty of the pie was its versatility. It could be eaten warm, cold, or reheated for leftovers, making it a staple in many households during the 50s and 60s. But as time passed, bacon and egg pie began to disappear from breakfast tables. The rise of convenience foods, fast-paced lifestyles, and the popularity of simpler breakfast options like toast or cereal edged out this hearty classic. Its preparation, which required a bit more time and effort, seemed less appealing in a world that increasingly prioritized speed over tradition. However, it's never too late for a revival. With a modern twist, perhaps incorporating a flaky puff pastry crust or adding new ingredients like spinach or cheese, bacon and egg pie could easily reclaim its spot on the breakfast menu. Its savory, comforting flavors remind us of a time when meals were crafted with love and shared with those who mattered most. So, why not bring back this classic? Dust off that pie tin and let the aroma of bacon and eggs fill your kitchen once again. Who knows, bacon and egg pie might just become the centerpiece of your next breakfast feast. Codfish cakes, light, crispy on the outside and soft and flavorful on the inside, were once a beloved breakfast and brunch staple in 1950s and 60s American kitchens. Made from salted codfish, mashed potatoes, and seasoned with herbs, these little golden patties were perfect for any occasion. The combination of flaky fish and creamy potatoes, pan-fried to perfection, made codfish cakes a hearty yet comforting meal. For families in the mid-20th century, codfish cakes were a smart way to stretch ingredients and make a little go a long way. Cod, being a relatively inexpensive fish, was often preserved by salting, which helped it last longer in the days before refrigeration. Paired with eggs or served alongside a side of toast, they were an easy way to get a filling, nutritious breakfast that everyone in the family could enjoy. However, as convenience foods gained popularity and ready-made meals became more accessible, codfish cakes began to fade from breakfast tables. Their preparation, which involved soaking the salted cod and mixing it with mashed potatoes, seemed like a lot of work compared to the simplicity of a quick bowl of cereal or a Pop-Tart. But there's no reason why we can't bring codfish cakes back to life. With a little innovation, perhaps swapping the mashed potatoes for sweet potatoes or using fresh cod, this dish could easily make its way into modern kitchens. Serve them with a side of homemade aioli or a dollop of tartar sauce, and you've got a breakfast that's both nostalgic and new. Codfish cakes represent the essence of resourcefulness and simplicity. They remind us of a time when meals were crafted with care and made to last. Maybe it's time to rediscover this savory classic and give it a place in today's breakfast rotation. What do you think? Are codfish cakes ready for their comeback? Frosted Flakes with bananas was a breakfast combination that defined mornings for many families in the 1950s and 60s. The crunchy, sugary flakes paired perfectly with the soft, sweet banana slices, making it a simple yet delicious way to kick off the day. This classic combo was both satisfying and convenient, offering the balance of sweetness and freshness that appealed to both kids and adults alike. In an era when sugary cereals were becoming a hit, Frosted Flakes quickly rose to fame, particularly with the addition of fresh fruit. Bananas, being readily available and affordable, were the perfect complement to the cereal's sweetness. The combination of the sugar-coated flakes and the natural sweetness of the bananas created a breakfast that felt indulgent yet wholesome. The appeal of this breakfast was not just in its flavor, but in its convenience. Unlike many other breakfast options that required more preparation, Frosted Flakes with bananas could be served in seconds. It was a quick fix for busy families, and with its blend of textures, crunchy, creamy, and chewy, it was an instant favorite. As the years went by, however, more elaborate breakfast trends took over. Health-conscious eating habits shifted the focus away from sugary cereals, and the once-loved Frosted Flakes combo gradually faded from morning routines. Today, it's often replaced by smoothies, granola, or oatmeal as people seek out healthier options. But maybe it's time for a nostalgic comeback. Imagine revamping this breakfast by using whole grain or organic cereal options, fresh bananas, and perhaps a sprinkle of chia seeds or a drizzle of honey for a modern twist. Frosted Flakes with bananas can bring back a fun, retro vibe to your mornings, reminding us of a time when simple pleasures and easy breakfasts reigned supreme. Would you give this classic a try again? Throughout this video, we've taken a delicious walk down memory lane, rediscovering 20 forgotten breakfast staples from the 50s and 60s that once filled American kitchens with comfort, creativity, and nostalgia. From the savory scrapple to the sweet allure of homemade donuts, these dishes tell a story of resourcefulness, tradition, and culinary joy that have faded from our modern menus. As we've explored each one, we've also seen how the fast pace of today's world has led us to overlook these unique meals that once made mornings memorable. Try bringing one of these vintage breakfast dishes to life in your kitchen and share your experience. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on which dish you're excited to try first.